Hey everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So I thought I would do a live stream as it is the Thanksgiving weekend here in the USA. I do hope that you all had a wonderful time with your family and friends. Can you just let me know if you can hear me okay? I don't usually use a microphone, but I've got one on today. So just let me know if you can hear me okay. That would be really helpful. Jason says hi. 5 Sheepy I3, I can hear. Well, I should hope you can because he's sat about 10 feet away. Audio's good, thank you, Candy. Okay, all right, so that's good to know. So I hope that you all had a wonderful time. Let me know in the comments what you did this weekend. We spent it with some friends and we did have a really nice time. I did actually post some pictures on Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, we are Life with Pets 72. So, all right, so I'm just going to refresh on here and then hopefully I can get this up so I can get the chat up somewhat better than I can on this, because when I'm on this, I don't see the chat so well because it does vanish really quickly. So all right, so okay, so audio's good, that's good. All right, thank you. Audio's good, can hear you fine. Oh, that's great. Hello from Canada. Oh wow, okay. So Holly says, will I be breeding betas again? Probably not, or certainly I don't want to say never, but we've got no plans in the near future to do so. We are wanting to maybe bring some new products online in our store and things like that. So we're sort of working on that and all different ideas. So our energy is going into that as opposed to breeding fish, which is very time consuming. So hello from Italy. Okay, let me see on this. I'm guessing a 50-gallon tank on Monday. That's fantastic. What do you plan on putting in it? There's a lot of scope you can do with a 50-gallon, so that will be a fun thing to work with. We are hoping to upgrade one of ours. I'm hoping there's going to be some good sales. I was disappointed with the Thanksgiving sales at the pet store, but I'm hoping they come up with some better ones for New Year, because that's when we got our 75-gallon. We got an amazing deal on that. I think we paid $150 and that was tank, stand and lights, brand new at PetSmart. So that was a really good one. So all right, let's have a look. Like I say, you're gonna have to forgive me for looking over here for the questions because they just come up so quick I'm on the iPad for like the videoing, so I'm going to be looking over here, so you're gonna have to forgive me for that. All right, where are we? You want my beta poster? Yeah, we got this at a beta show that we went to about, I don't know how many weeks ago now, maybe a month or so ago, and we were given this and it absolutely love it. Yeah, it's a really good one. I'm not quite sure who it's done by, but it definitely is a good one. All right, I'm guessing a new beta in a few weeks. That's very exciting. I always love guessing new beta fish. Okay. I'm a Canadian fish fan from Instagram. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did do at least I think I did a post on Instagram to say we were going live. I don't remember where I've posted what. We've been so busy this weekend or the last few days that I honestly don't remember who's done what. But I think I did post. Thank you, Candy, for putting the website. Actually, she's put the website, the link to the website, and we are running a sale on our website right now. If you put in the coupon code GiveThanks15, you will get 15% off your order. I think we're still fully stocked at this point. We have had an awful lot of orders, but we did buy a lot more stuff in this time because the last sale that we ran in September, we sold out of so much stuff. So this time we are really well stocked. And I think everything is still in stock. I think except for some of the plants. I do think some of the plants are not there. But if you use the code GiveThanks15, also actually while I'm talking about that, we have brought back these as well. We kept getting requests for these. We've done the beta fish one and we've done a bellfin one. Everybody loves bellfin, so we've done a goldfish one, bellfin, and then we've done the beta fish one. And if you don't know what they're for holding the test tubes you know, like when you're doing like testing your water, you then just put your test tubes in here and then you're not knocking them over or breaking them and all that sort of stuff. So we've only got a few left. They've sold much better than I thought they were going to. We did used to sell quite a lot of them. They're very time consuming to make, so we stopped selling them, but we kept getting requests to do them. So we had some blocks left and we thought, well, we'll try it and see what happens. And I think they're near enough sold out, but I did add just a few more this morning. And so if you're interested in them, go on over quickly, because like I say, there's not many left. And I think there's only the one goldfish one, but I may add some more later today if I get a chance to do them. So they are on there, and like I say, use the code GiveThanks15 and you'll get 15% off. All right, let's see what we've got going on. I've missed all those comments now, so let me just go back through those. Lucas says, how is the weather where you live in Romania? It's snowing. For a while it's freezing cold outside. It's actually, I think, about 78 degrees here today, so we are still really hot. In Florida it doesn't particularly get that cold. It's sort of, we do have spells of it, but for the most part it stays pretty warm, and we've probably got about another month of early 70s, and then we'll drop into the 60s. So yeah, very nice here, can't complain at all. All right, let's see. Is a fluval speck good for betas? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is good for beta fish. The only thing you usually do have to do is to do something with the filter. Most people will say it is too strong. It's not a tank that we've used, so I can't really speak to it, but from everything I've heard from what people are saying, then you do need to maybe just modify the filter slightly. But yeah, they are really good tanks. I think they're a good size as well. I am trying to breed guppies from 2 regular guppies to see what I get out of it. Yeah, I mean, guppies breed really easily, so I don't think you'll have any issues there whatsoever. Any tips on guppy breeding? Like I've just said, I do think that they breed easily. I would just say make sure that you feed the parents well and that they've got plenty of space, plenty of water changes, and yeah, you shouldn't have any issue. Guppies just breed. What is the smallest size tank you would advise for a beta fish? We used to say a 2.5 gallon, but I think the minimum now I would do is a 5 gallon or 5.5 gallon. And if it's the placotte beta, I personally think a 10 gallon. However, I guess it really depends on the beta fish, but yeah, I would say 5.5 gallon absolute minimum, 10 gallon preferable. We've got 2 in 20 gallons and then we've got them in the divided tank as well. So yeah, minimum 5 gallons. All right, let's see. Silver Stream Beta says, finally caught one of your streams. Yeah, sometimes I keep thinking maybe we should try an evening stream, but by the time evening comes we just end up sort of, you know, we've got other stuff going on, so it's just much easier to do it during the day for us. So Deborah says, hi. Deborah, you missed our bellfin block. I have to show this again for Deborah because she absolutely adores bellfin. So we have made these, we've done the bellfin block, and then we've done just the generic beta fish one again. So good to see you here, Deborah. I just got my first ever African cichlids. Very nice. We used to do cichlids many years ago though, many years ago. So yeah. All right, let me see. Let's see, if I could help you out with the drawing, like some more detail, illustrations. I am quite good at drawing fish. I wouldn't charge you anything for it, just do it for fun. Oh, thank you very much. I actually do draw. I am a portrait drawer. In fact, I think the portrait has been hidden. It was up on the wall. That is something that I do. I do portrait drawing, or I used to. I haven't done it for a very long time, but with the wood burning, because it's wood burning, then I tend to keep them a little more simple. I do add a little shading, but not much. I am by no means an expert with that wood burner for sure. And also on the wood, the grains of wood, it is quite difficult as well. So yeah, detail is not something I plan on doing on those. All right. It's 26 degrees here. My bird bath is frozen. Yes, we are very, very fortunate with the weather here. That is for sure. I am sorry, this chat keeps jumping up. Let's see. How long does it take for red cherry shrimp to reach breeding age? Do you know, actually, I'm not sure. I am not sure. You maybe have to Google that, because we just have a tank full of them and they breed like crazy. I think we've still got one lot left on our website. So if you're wanting cherry shrimp, now is a good time because they are on sale. But I know that we already have sold a few of them, but I think there is one left. But I honestly don't know, because we just let them do their thing. And so we started originally with 28. And we have got so many, and we've already sold probably hundreds over the last 6-8 months. So we just let them do their thing. So I'm not actually sure. If I had to guess, it probably would be 4 to 6 months, but I honestly don't know. You'd have to Google that one. All right, let me see. Is a long or deeper tank better for a betta? Definitely, in my opinion, the long is better. Betta fish, betta fish, it depends where betta fish are from. And what you have to remember is the betta splendens that we get, typically they've been altered so much that they need maybe better conditions than they could maybe survive in the wild. So for me, I would say that the long is better, so that the water isn't as deep. So that's my preference. So all our 20 gallons, they're all 20-gallon longs. Shadow and City Lights, a Belfin block. I know. Yeah, I know. It's so cute. We did originally do a goldfish one. And then I sort of pulled out the goldfish one that I'd drawn, and I wasn't keen on it, and it didn't really, and then I thought, I wonder if we could do a Belfin block. So maybe not the best drawing of him, but you know, you get the idea, and obviously, you know, we all know it's Belfin. So yeah, Belfin block. So yeah, he's so adorable. He's got so many fans, so many fans. All right, let's see what else we've got. I came in on the stream just in time. Yep, just in time to see the Belfin block. Will you be breeding bettas again? I've already just done that one. We've got no plans to do it. I don't want to say never, but we've got no plans to do it in the immediate future, that's for sure. So, breeding guppies, not hard at all. Have more males than females. Hard water with guppies and babies are free. Yeah, guppies are so easy to breed. Did your betta fry have any problems finishing the ripashi? Mine don't finish it, and it gets white stuff on after a while. Then I would say you're probably overfeeding. If there's any left, then I would say you're overfeeding. So I would maybe, what we tended to do with the ripashi eventually was to break it up. So as we put it in, I'd like crumble it in rather than like putting like a solid block in. A lot of people do just put the solid block in, but I actually preferred to crumble it into the tank, and then that way there were the small pieces and it was more broken up. But I would maybe try feeding less, because you don't really want it left over in the tank. Hi Sheila, I have my first betta fish. How will I know the age of my fish? He's making a bubble nest. It's difficult to say unless you know exactly where it came from. Typically in the stores, the males are usually between 6 to 10 months old. Females are usually around 6 to 8 months old. So your betta fish will be fully mature, and if it is doing bubble nests, then that's basically its way of saying it's fully mature. So it's probably going to be 8 to 10 months old. Let's see. My tank keeps getting a white fungus type of build-up on organic and sometimes a non-soluble surfaces. I don't know what to use to get rid of it. Is it a new setup, or is it an established setup? Very often in a new setup, that's perfectly normal. But in a more established setup, then I'm not quite sure. That's not something we've really dealt with. We've really only dealt with it when we've had like a brand new setup. Then we've sort of got like, it's more like a white slime, so this might not be the same thing, but we'd sort of get like a white slime if we put, we never got it if we didn't put wood in. If we put wood in, then we would get it, but it would go within a few weeks, and if you put shrimp in there or snails in there, then they'd eat it anyway, but it maybe isn't the same thing. Let's see, oh, where did that go? Have you ever had problems with half-moon betas biting their tails and fins before, and how can I help them regrow faster? Unfortunately, it is a much more common problem than it ever used to be, and I think a lot of it is either water parameters does have effect on it. If your fish is stressed because of your water parameters, if the fish is stressed due to its environment, then that will very often promote fin biting. And they are usually the cause, but not always. Sometimes it can be something that your fish just does and becomes a very bad habit. Or if your fish has excessively big, like large fins, then also that's another thing that will happen, that they will, to sort of give themselves a trim, as it were, because their fins, if they're excessively large, it means that they're very, very heavy, and swimming can be an issue. And so sometimes they will bite them for that reason. Now, as for regrowing them, I wouldn't say you can regrow them any faster. I would say to help healing with them, almond leaves are a really good one. In fact, we've got almond leaves on our website right now. I think we've got some in the clearance section. We've got like big bags of them. So if you are wanting those, then we have got them on the website. But I would do almond leaves, and I would just do very regular water changes. That's the best you can do, and salt as well. I wouldn't use medication unless you absolutely have to, and I wouldn't use any of the ones that are like Betta Fish, Malafix, Primafix, or any of those. There's a lot of controversy with those, and so they're ones that I typically will stay away from. So thank you, Candy, for putting that link up. We do have a sale for those of you that are just joining, and if you want to go over to our website, Candy, and I think Sheepy I3 has put the links in the chat box, and it's a Give Thanks 15 if you want 15% off your order, and it's store wide, so it's not just dividers. There's plants, there's fish food, there's decorations, and all those sorts of things. So if you want to go on over, then take a look. We are going to run it through Monday, so there is a few days left. All right. Where was that one that I've just seen? My zebra snails don't like wafers or veggies. Will they starve? They really do prefer tank algae. We have found that they will eat, ours will eat blanched zucchini or cucumber, but for the most part, if there's enough algae in the tank, then they will definitely eat that over anything that's prepared. They also will eat the rapashi gel food, but again, they would still rather have the algae actually in the tank. But and I will say probably most of our tanks do produce enough, and so yeah, the nerite snails can be difficult, especially if they've not been brought up on a prepared food diet. Is a 20-gallon good for a red cap around a goldfish? If you have one, then yes. If you can go bigger, I would go bigger. I think that, I know a lot of people see our goldfish in the 20-gallon long, and whilst I do think it is fine for him, he is in there for a purpose, because he was very, very ill, and that tank has solved his issues. Would we go to a larger tank? Absolutely, if we could. However, I worry that it would sort of bring everything back for him. He's very, very happy in that tank, so at the moment we're going to keep him there. But I would say, yeah, you can do, but you can't put more than one in though. If you put two in, it just wouldn't be big enough, because they do get very large. So just the one. Oh, there we go. Let me just see, where are we? Okay, Brianna, you're added. If you're still here, that is. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, okay, so Lucas 206, then yeah, that does sound like a new tank syndrome. And it is a mucus-like substance. I call it slime, but it is a mucus-like substance. The more you do water changes, the more you try and scrub it, the worse you're going to make it. It is best to do your best to leave it, which I know is so difficult because it does look gross. When you do your regular weekly water change, then I would sort of, if you can, like vacuum some of it out, I would do that. Or if you've got a snail or you've got shrimp, then they will definitely take care of it. So either of those will help. Otherwise, it will eventually go away. So we did have it in one of our tanks. We didn't have shrimp in it. We didn't have snails in it. And it did, I think it took about 3, maybe 4 weeks, but it did go away. So do we use CO2 in our planted tanks? We do not. All we use is the root tabs that we sell on our website. This is like one big long commercial, isn't it? But the root tabs we sell on our website, which we have sold so many of because of our last few videos with the divided tank. But yeah, all we use are the root tabs, and then in the 75 gallon, because obviously it's so large, so many fish and so many plants, we use root tabs, but we also do use fertilizer when I remember. I try and do it once a week, but I don't always manage it once a week. So, but no CO2. We really keep things really simple here, very simple. All right, we've just jumped up again. Oh, I see we have the debate on the Betta Fish and the Malefics, and I shall leave you lot to that one. Is it okay to put neon tetras with a beta in a planted 20 gallon? Yeah, I don't see why not. I would just make sure that it's heavily planted and that you know your beta fish. Although having said that, know your beta fish, we have our beta fish Blaze, the crown tail. He really exhibited a great deal of aggression when we got him. However, he lives happily with other fish and there's just no issues whatsoever. So sometimes I think it's one of those things, you have to try it, but you need to be able to either take the fish back or have somewhere else for them. But yeah, for the most part, betas can on the whole live with other fish. Not every beta fish will, but most will. In fact, all of ours live with other fish. So yeah, I don't see why not. That tank to me is plenty big enough. Is there any fish I can keep with a male beta fish? I would say I've just touched on that. As long as, in my opinion, as long as your tank is no smaller than a 10 gallon. For me personally, I would probably not do it in anything less than a 20 gallon. That's just my personal preference. But we've kept harlequins, platies, we've kept cories, rummy nose tetras, where I'm actually sort of looking at some other fish to put in with Blaze right now. I'm not sure yet what we're going to choose, but so yeah, you can do it. You just maybe need to do your homework, see have you got enough space, and just make sure that the parameters are going to be the same for the fish that you choose. And I would definitely recommend the tank being very heavily planted, because that can disperse aggression, if there is any, in the interim while things settle down. All right, my female beta is in a 33 gallon tank. Oh, I would so love a 33. I'm assuming that's the 33 gallon long. I would love one of those tanks. I'd love that for bellfin actually. With neons and a female beta. My female beta does not eat the food unless I hand feed her, but she does not want to eat pellets. She only eats flakes. Or what should I do? I would maybe try to do, have you tried the fluval bug bites? They are excellent. We have been able to get 2 very picky imports that just would not eat anything but brine shrimp and bloodworm, and it was the fluval bug bites that did that for us, and they are on sale on our website right now. So but yeah, I would try the fluval bug bites. They are an excellent one. And after that, I would maybe just try some frozen food, like maybe brine shrimp or bloodworm, just to sort of give something different. And with the bloodworm specifically, you could hand feed that one if you absolutely have to hand feed. Otherwise, if I were you, I would just try her a few days. If she doesn't eat, she's not going to die from not eating. So you could actually leave her for a few days and then just feed her the way that you would normally feed but not the hand feeding, and try a different food, and maybe if she's hungry she would eat it. Crystal says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Crystal. Tank mates for a beta in a divided tank. If the tank is divided and it's a 10 gallon, then no tank mates. I mean, you could maybe put a snail on each side, but I would say no tank mates. If it's a 20 gallon divided just once, then I would say that you could put in anything that you would be comfortable putting into a 10 gallon. But again, that's personal preference. But yeah, in a 10 gallon, I would not do anything other than a snail on each side. Now, we do have shrimp in ours, but the tank is very heavily planted and the betta fish don't bother with them. This is our like second set of betta fish with those shrimp, and the shrimp population explodes and we have no issues. But it's not something I would recommend, because usually betta fish will go after the shrimp and eat them or kill them. So Sheila, do you know any details about mixing tail types when spawning betas? I've been contemplating breeding one of my half moon males to a veil tail female. Not much information online. Yeah, that one, I'm not really into all that, so I don't want to offer any advice. The only thing I will say is, in things that I have read, you do have to be very careful with what you might end up with, because if you're not really sure what you're going to end up with, you've got to remember those fish are going to need homes, and would there be homes for them? So I don't know that personally I would do that mix, but that's me personally. Like you say, there's not a great deal out there. Maybe try the betta fish breeding forums on Facebook. You can get some really good information there. There's some really seasoned breeders on there as well, so I would maybe try them. How do you make a live bearer grow faster? Where did that go? Let me see if I can find that again. I've lost that. Where did it go? I don't know whether that was the whole question or not, so. I don't know where that question went. If I see it again, I'll come back to it. Let me see, what else have we got here? Is a school of 5 neons in a 5 gallon with a beta in it okay? I personally would not do it. I think that neons, they do like to swim, and so to me 5 gallons is too small for neons. I know some people would say it's okay. Maybe if it was just the 5 neons, that would be okay, but I wouldn't do it for betta fish, no. Not a betta fish, absolutely not. Female beta has a small bent over area on the tail. Is that tail rot? Tail rot usually is the tail almost looks shredded, for want of a description. Sometimes it will have like a white fuzz to it. If it's or it might have like fin rot, is also like a black edging to it. It really depends on exactly what it is. As for it being bent over, not necessarily, that might just be a deformity. So I would look at the actual tail itself. Lots of good questions today. Yes, I think there are. Is there a species of beta that can coincide with male and female? I'm assuming you mean coexist. I'm not quite sure if that's what you mean, but if you're meaning coexist, there are several types of wild betta fish that can live together. That again is not particularly a topic that I am well versed in, so I can't really give you which ones. But if you search or if you actually look on I think it's Kasha Creative Pet Keeping, she's got several on wild betta fish, and so has Taylor from Simply Beta. Both of those do. I think Corey actually from Aquarium Co-op, I think he does as well. So maybe go check those videos out. But yeah, there are several that can actually live together. So if you check those videos out, you'll be able to find out. I love your tank dividers. I've always wanted one. They are on sale right now, so I just got some bug bites. I think bug bites are one of the best foods. The other one I really do like as well is the Hikari Vibes. I think those are an excellent food. Our puffer fish love that food, but all our fish do. But my other go-to is also the fluval bug bites. I absolutely love that food. Can you keep wild betas together and how many? It's usually in pairs, although you can keep groups together of certain types. But again, I'm not sure which types. You would have to do research on that. Like I say, wild betas is not something I've got into at this point. Just excuse me 1 minute. All right. Let me see. Is a 15-gallon too tall for a beta? I'm not actually familiar with a 15-gallon, but I would say the 20-gallon tall is not. So I'm going to say the 15-gallon is not. I mean, like I say, personally, I do think that more shallow is better, but it really doesn't matter that much, especially if it's the placotte beta. It's more the beta fish with the really, really large fins, and then if you don't plant the tank out really well and have things like closer to the top for them to maybe lie on, then that's when it can become more of a problem, because the swimming up to the top when they've got such long tail fins, then that can be an issue, because the tail fins are dragging, and I mean they're okay in the tank, but they do prefer the shallower water. So yeah, I think a 15-gallon would be perfectly fine. Let's have a look. Can beta fish live with goldfish? I don't keep mine together, but it's just something I want to know. I love your channel and your pets. They cannot, no. Goldfish are, people say they're cold water, they're actually subtropical, they're not cold water. They can survive in cold water, but they are a subtropical in that their ideal temperature is about 66 to 72, whereas a beta fish temperature is 78, preferably 80 to 82. So you can see there's a massive difference there, not to mention that the beta will probably beat the poor goldfish up, or if the goldfish is really large like bellfin is, then he possibly would eat a beta fish. So, you know, so no, yeah, definitely not. Let's see. Can you breed domestic betas and wild betas together? I would say no. The only reason I'm going to say no is wild beta fish have not been kept that long in the hobby. And when I say not long, I'm talking, yes, it has been years, but it's not long relatively speaking. And so all the breeding that is going on right now needs to be kept so that the fish doesn't end up with severe issues like we have with the beta splendens. So if you start mixing and matching already and you're ending up with hybrids and stuff like that, we're soon going to end up with fish that are basically not sort of not their 100% genetically pure. So I would say no at this point. I don't think that that is a good idea. But that's me personally. I do think a lot of people that are into the wilds would agree with me, because they are trying to protect them right now. I know that it's quite a closed community that are doing them, just simply because you know, they're trying to get it very well established. The 20-gallon long dividers and the bundle deals are awesome. Well, thank you very much. All on sale. They're all on sale this weekend. We have done an awful lot of the 20 gallons. I'm not sure how many are left, because we have done a lot of those this weekend. So let me see. I want help medicating my goldfish. It's pooping in stringing egg balloon poop. Okay. I am medicating with general cure. Should I do more? I would probably start with the general cure. I would also do Prazipro. Prazipro is another good one that is one of our go-to for goldfish, and the Maracian 2 as well. That's another one that we use. So any of those, I would say, if the general cure doesn't work, I do think that that one you can do a second time. So I would do a second time again. So yeah. Belfin says blub blub blub, which translates to like, scribe and share. So you're the realist, Sheila. Yeah, I try. Okay, what are your thoughts on the Deranil colour booster pellets? Have you tried them? I haven't. Now, we do typically stick with New Life Spectrum, the fluval bug bites, and now it's the hikari, but things do always change. Having said that, things do always change. So what do I feed by day 4, by 4-day-old beta fry? Brine shrimp. I would say baby brine shrimp. So you should have a hatchery going, and baby brine shrimp, I would say. If I was breeding again, I would actually exclusively feed the baby brine shrimp, I think. I do think that I've seen so many people have such success with that one. So, all right. Oh, hi Flynn, thank you for joining us. It's good to see you. All right, my goldfish is laying a lot on the soil. What can I do to get him swimming more? All right, I would say where goldfish are concerned, the best thing to do first off is to check your water parameters, because with goldfish, that is usually 90% of the time the problem. And after that, I would do a large water change and see if he perks up or not. And if that is not the case, then you maybe need to be looking at seeing if there's an issue with his food. Is he eating? If he's not eating, then obviously there's maybe some sickness going on as well. But yeah, I would definitely recommend doing the water parameters, testing those first. So, all right, let's see. Would you guys ever consider getting a pleco? Yeah, we've actually got 2 of them. We never see one of them, but we do see the other one fairly regularly. We have a rubber-nosed and a clown pleco, and they are both in the 75 gallon. So they're only small ones, just small ones. So, just prepping a group of Liberty Mollies to head off to the local fish store. I'll be in and out of chat. Good for you. So I'm assuming that you've bred them then, Flynn, that you're able to take them. So well done. All right. Okay, so I have this beta. His name is Peanut. He floats and appears to have swim bladder. I've treated him, but he's not recovering and I feel bad. Do you know anything I can do to help him? Okay, so I would ask, what are you feeding him? And then basically when you say you've treated him, exactly what have you done to treat him? They'd be probably my first questions. I would say that if you've gone through the usual of the sort of not feeding for a few days, I would try, does he look bloated? That's something else, does he look bloated? That's something else that you need to look at. If he does, then it's maybe good to try and get him to flare, which you can use a mirror. If you just like put a mirror in front of the tank, then if he's bloated, then sometimes if you put a mirror up and they flare, it will actually cause them to produce waste, which obviously is what you want them to do. So, okay. You have a beautiful goldfish life with pets. Yes, thank you. Yes, we do. And he knows it. He's such a camera hog. I was filming the tank next to him. I think it was a few days ago, because I'm trying to get ahead with my videos coming into the Christmas season. So I've been sort of filming ahead, and so I was filming next to him, and he's so funny because as soon as he sees me coming, I actually film on with my phone, but as soon as he sees me coming, he's there and he just wants the attention. And I was spending all the time next to him, like next to his tank, filming him. And he was just going crazy in the corner. So I did end up including him in the video because he just wasn't letting up. But yeah, he is such a character, such a character. All right, where are we? What is my favorite type of betta fish? Let me see. What is my favorite type of betta fish? Whew, I like Dumbos. I very, very much like Dumbos. I do like the placottes as well, and I like the Dumbo placottes. But I would say, yeah, I think Dumbos, but I do love placottes as well. I think with the placottes, I like them because maybe there's sometimes not as much trouble as the ones with the longer fins. They just seem much more content, and obviously they can swim better as well. So I think that's probably what draws me to the placottes more than all the long fin betas. Although our crown tail, I did not like crown tails at all, but our crown tail Blaze, I really do like him as well. So he has sold me on crown tails, even though I didn't really like them. So Foxy Plush says, what did I miss? You'll have to go back and watch it all because I am not going back through it again, but we do have a sale for those of you that are in right now. We have a sale on our website, Give Thanks 15, and you will get 15% off your entire order. It is store-wide except for the clearance section. I will say that, just except for the clearance section. It is store-wide. Other than that, so you know, if you want to stock up or look at decorations, we've got plants on there. We don't just sell dividers. Sometimes I think people think that we just sell dividers, but we don't. We sell other stuff as well. And then the blocks as well, which are these here for your test tubes when you're testing your water. We've added these back on as well. So how to make fry grow fast. Water changes, good food and water changes, that is probably the quickest way. The only thing I would say is very often we put a lot of emphasis on our fish growing fast and you know, sort of we want them bigger, quicker, and sometimes, you know, that's not a good thing. I was very much that way with the betta fish. You know, it wasn't so much I wanted them to grow fast, but I'd seen what other people had done, and so I thought mine was small, and so I did, you know, loads of water changes, which you're supposed to do anyway, and I did feed well, but you know, I just feel that sometimes we're in such a rush for them to get bigger and to grow up that I think it can be very often at the detriment of the fish. And so you don't want them to grow up really quickly and get big really quickly, because fish that grow really quickly, it generally shortens their lifespan. So obviously, you know, you don't want that. You want your fish to grow, or you want your fish to live a long time. So it's actually Belfin's birthday in January. He's going to be 3 in January, so he's getting on up there. In theory, they live 5 to 7 years. So he's got, they're only very small and nearly 2 months old. Then I suspect you're possibly not water changing enough. Water changes are the biggest issue with fry, because you need to take out the hormones that they release. They do release a growth inhibitor hormone. So the bigger ones get bigger, the smaller ones barely grow. So you really should be doing daily water changes, or certainly every other day, and you should be doing at least 50% as well. So that's usually that's what I would do. That's what I would do anyway. So, all right, guys, I think at this point I am going to leave it here. Oh, I think we're almost at the end of the questions, maybe. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I'll maybe do just a few more and then we will call it a day at that. Let's see, I feed omega-1 pellets and I give him a salt treatment, but he does not look bloated. But he was like this when I bought him. I have a 10-gallon. I don't know what caused his swim bladder. Well, swim bladder is, people use swim bladder very loosely. And here's the thing, swim bladder is an actual condition of the fish. It's an actual, the swim bladder is deformed. So it's not because somebody fed the fish too much, or, now that can cause them to float, but it's curable. If it is swim bladder in the true sense of the word, it can be managed, but it cannot be cured, as in, because there is something genetically wrong or physically wrong with the fish. So they have a disability. So if it is genuine swim bladder, then it's not something that can be cured. And if the betta fish has got no life and you have tried everything, then, you know, maybe you need to look at other options for him. Whereas, I mean, what's the temperature in the tank? That can make a difference. Maybe try, if you're at 78, maybe try putting it 80, 82. That can sometimes help if it isn't true swim bladder. But like I say, if it is, then there's not a great deal that you can do at this point, unfortunately. All right. How to make fish not scared of light? What I would do if you've got skittish fish, when you first turn the light on, I would do the blue light first. So if the tank is going from being in the dark, or, oh, excuse me, if it's going from being in the dark, or just generally, you know, your light in your room and you're turning it on, then I would maybe do the blue light first, leave that for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then try your normal light. That usually will make a difference. It doesn't always, but it can really help a fish. So I would try that rather than absolutely terrifying them by putting them on the oh, excuse me, rather than having them scooting around the tank and being terrified. All right. All right, guys, I am going to leave it there, I think, at this point. So thank you so much for joining us. I will leave a link to our website in the description box below. I'll also leave the coupon code there as well. The sale does run through till Monday, so you have got until Monday. If you're wanting one of these blocks, as I said, there's not many of these left. I do plan on making more, but when I'll get round to that, I don't know. So there aren't many left of these if you're wanting one. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I do hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. And we will see you on Tuesday in our next video.